Welcome to Hidden Voices, the podcast series which explores the less heard voices in health and social care. I'm Sam and I work for Healthwatch Essex, and it's our job to make sure that people's experiences help to improve health and social care services. In this episode, we're talking to Zisan, a former professional cricketer, about the impact of professional sport on health and well-being. So welcome, Zisan.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you for coming in. So first of all, do you want to just tell everybody how we met?
Yes, sure. So we met through a reciprocity mentorship program. So we met probably about 6 months ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. It's been a wonderful journey together. I've learned a lot from you, and the opportunity to talk about my personal journey, I think that was very important for me as well, because that helped me understand myself better and connect to what I do, find my passion. So, yeah, thank you for that.
No, thank you. Part of that programme was the organisers pairing up people across the system that hadn't worked with each other. And as much as you said you learnt from me, I think I've learnt so much more from you. And the best part of that programme by far has been understanding you and your story and being really inspired and intrigued by it. So would you be able to tell everybody a little bit about your background?
Sure, thank you. Likewise, Sam.
Thank you.
I was very inspired by you. So, to say a little bit about myself, I need to go back quite a while ago, probably back in 1998.
Yep.
I came from Bangladesh, from a humble background. My father was a small businessman. My mom was a school teacher, and there was not a lot of sports in my family around that time. Most of the families were academic. So I came out of that and I found some passion for cricket. So I started cricket when I was about 10 years old, played in my garden, not quite garden, like in the garage.
Yeah.
And then with my uncle. And then he introduced me to the real cricket, like the hardball cricket, at the age of 12. And then from there, my cricket journey started. I got picked for under 13 nationals. So I went for the trial and I did not even know what a trial was and what I was going for. I just went in, played my cricket, and I got picked. And I was quite surprised. And then suddenly I realized I was actually leading the national side. So I was the captain for under 13. By the time I realized we went for the tour to India, that was my first national tour, out of country, first time staying away from family. So it was quite overwhelming, quite exciting for me. So that's where the journey started. And then obviously over the years I played more cricket, played for under 15 nationals, captained the side. Then I played for under 17, became the captain again. And then I was picked for under 19 as well. Under 19 Asia Cup, World Cup, played those.
Wow.
For the World Cup, I wasn't the captain, but I was the vice captain for the World Cup team. And then I was picked for the first class. So there was like 6 divisions for the first class. So I was picked for Borishal division. I played first class cricket. Then before that I signed for a Premier League club in Bangladesh. So that used to be called DPL around that time, which is, and we've got a BPL now.
Right.
So there used to be BPL. DPL was the highest form of cricket in Bangladesh around that time. So I signed that at the age of 12 years and 11 months.
Wow.
So I was the youngest ever cricketer to sign for a Premier League club as a professional.
That's incredible.
So that's who I am. Then I moved to UK in 2010 for higher education. Couldn't play cricket for a while because of some injuries, some psychological trauma, etc. Took a break for 6 years, came back, completed my studies, got into full-time job, and then started slowly to come back to cricket. And now I'm working for Essex Partnership University Hospital NHS Foundation Trust as an employee experience manager and also playing as a semi-professional. Now, I recently signed a contract with Wakeford Cricket Club as the captain for First 11 and also the head of cricket development of them.
That's fantastic. And to see you kind of come full circle. How does having that fame, if you like, and accolade at such a young age impact you in your journey?
Initially, it was very tough for a very young person. It was very exciting. All those fame, all those cameras, all those people like recognizing me. It was quite like I was having stars around me. I was having
Mm,
stars in front of my eyes, and I was having probably a colored glass in front of me. So I could not see the real world, if I
mm,
be honest with you. I was earning money at a very early age, around 13, 14. I was earning a good amount of money playing professional cricket. So I was spending.
mm,
Um, Although, yes, I did contribute to the family from the very beginning, but I was spending a lot for myself. So there was no boundaries. I could not recognize boundaries around that time. So fame, sometimes the fame can be good. Sometimes the fame is dangerous for
mm.
young people, especially if you don't have proper mentors around you, proper people guiding you and understanding you and putting you in the right path. It can be dangerous, but it was fun.
Mm. Do you feel you had those mentors around you as a young man?
No, no, I did not, because culture in Bangladesh was quite different. The education system I came from was quite focused on intellectual abilities rather than utilizing them and focusing on emotional intelligence.
Mhm.
So that was quite focused. We were like pushed to the mentors we had, like teachers, the parents, and the families. They were like really pushing for academy achievements, like you need to get A plus, you need to get an A,
Mm.
etc. You need to get good marks, but not quite, the psychological development of a child, like etiquette, behaviors, manners. I mean, there was manners. We were taught manners, but in a very hard way.
Mm.
Like you cannot do this, you cannot do that, but not quite explained. So no, I did not have a mentor that I should have had or I expected.
Mm. It all sounds quite idyllic, that kind of playing professional sport, representing your country at such a young age. Was it all wonderful, or were there other challenges along the route?
It was wonderful. It was cricket made me who I am.
Hmm.
Sport is always the best place to learn teamwork and learn about future, learn about it makes you a competitive person. It makes you a compassionate person, a person who can work within the team. Then also dealing with people, different sort of mentalities,
Mm.
characters, etc. It is wonderful, it is brilliant, but at the same time it's very hard when you don't have people understand you, and it can traumatize you sometimes. Because I remember at some point I was quite young. I was about 16 years old, and I could not perform for a few games. And I don't remember someone sitting down with me
Mm.
and really, really asking me the question like, "What's happening with you?" Like, mentally.
Yeah.
Technically, yes, there were coaches. They used to teach us like technical stuff.
Hmm.
Probably your balance is not right. Probably your bat is not coming straight. The swing is not correct, etc. But what's happening inside?
Yeah.
No one knew. No one understood. No one asked those questions. So
Mm.
it was tough.
It sounds really tough. What lessons do you think I mean, you've touched on this, but what lessons have you taken from your kind of cricket days that you apply in life now?
Everything who I am now,
Mm.
almost everything. As a professional, I'm a team player. I play within the team. I really understand my teammates. And then going through that period where fame was around me, so I could handle the fame, I could handle the exposure,
Hmm.
and then also things like being really, I mean, understanding the other's shoes. Personally, it made me someone who's very, I never give up,
Mm.
never ever give up in any situation. And that really helps boost the morale of the people around me. So it's not just me motivating. I mean, I'm not just a self motivator. I motivate others around me, and I help put that positivity out around people. I never cannot say anything negative.
Mhm.
That's what cricket made
Yeah.
me do. So very, very positive. Give that positive vibe.
Yeah.
So
I think that comes across when you're around you for any period of time. Now, you said that when you were sort of at the peak of your cricket career, you then came to England to finish your studies. How was that transition?
it was tough. Yes, I did go to many countries, visited to play cricket. It was quite an interesting journey because I mean I love to explore.
Mm-hmm.
I love to do new things. I get excited about it. So it was quite exciting for me. But thinking quite deep about it, deep inside my mind, it was quite challenging as well because of the. Although I've visited many countries in the world before I came to England, I even came to England before I came to England to play cricket. But moving completely to live a new life was quite a cultural shock for me because I started learning new phrases, new way of talking, new way of behaving, new way of gestures, body language, looking at people. I'll tell you something very interesting. In Bengali culture, if you look at someone's eyes, especially if they're elderlies, it tend to be like not good manners.
Okay.
So it's not good manners to look at someone's eyes
Yeah.
and answering something. But obviously in England, it's the opposite.
Yes.
If you don't look at someone, it's rude, isn't it? So that's something I learned, and I never learned before I came to England. So it was a bit of interesting, exciting journey. At the same time, some mixed feeling of like shock, leaving the family behind,
Yes.
leaving all my friends behind, leaving the cricket, the dream behind.
Yeah.
Was tough. I was sad when I left cricket because I mean couldn't carry on with it for some reason. So leaving everything behind was quite difficult. Yeah.
Is there any particularly strange English phrases that you struggled with or that made you laugh when you first came over?
Cuppa.
Cuppa,
Yes.
as in cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
Yeah.
So I always first time when one of my first job was at Tesco. So my deputy store manager came to me and she asked me, "Do you like a cup of cuppa?" What's a cup of cuppa? And I was like, I was probably a couple of months.
Yeah.
I came to England. And I didn't know what that means, and I was like, "Oh, what should I answer? What is a cuppa?" And then she was like, "Oh, tea. Would you like a tea or a coffee?" I said, "Oh, yes, I know that. I would love a cup of tea, please." And then also, one interesting thing was I hardly used to use please after a word. So when I said I would like a cup of tea, I didn't use please that time.
Okay.
So I learned it.
Yes.
That's not a phrase to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, little things.
It's really interesting when you've grown up in that culture that you just don't pick these things up. And it's so interesting when people come from different areas or different countries that they find all the little word whiskers and oddities.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I now think about it, when I speak in Bengali, the Bengali is a very polite language as well. But without using please and thank you, you can make the sentence very polite to someone.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I speak in my second language, which is English, and back of my mind, I'm actually translating it and delivering it. So that time, the direct translation, I did not use those phrases to make it more polite, which is acceptable in English.
Yes.
So now, when I after all these years, it became almost my first language now. So
yeah.
I know how to use the phrases and how it sounds. And when I went back to Bangladesh after 11 years, I was actually finding it very interesting, and I was noticing things that sounded rude but
Yeah.
wasn't actually rude.
Yeah, things you
That's
hadn't
the,
noticed before.
yeah, that's the way the language is spoken. So yeah.
Excellent. When we spoke previously about some of your experiences, something that surprised me was the amount of physical injuries that not only you sustained, but that people continue playing with while they were sportsmen.
Yeah, it's like it's difficult as a professional cricketer. Like for example, when I had my first back injury when I was 17, just before the World Cup squad was being announced, I was very scared, and I was not talking about the back injury to anyone because I thought I will be dropped, and eventually I was dropped for the first tour. Sometimes the amount of physical injuries the professional athletes have and don't talk about is the reason, the fear that they will be dropped, and they will probably never be back, will never be able to go back. And in professional athlete, it almost seems like weak point for someone having an injury. I mean, I'm not into professional, like really professional sports now, but back in those days, especially in Bangladesh, we didn't talk about a broken finger, and that affected us mentally. And I was constantly see this finger still not healed properly because it wasn't treated properly, and I was hiding it and I was playing with it, and it broke three more times after I got injured. And I wasn't talking about it until the last time when I could not bear the pain. And I was putting cap on it and going into the field and playing. I did not talk about it because I knew that I would be dropped for at least 3 months. And I don't know if I'm going to go back to that. I mean, I can get back to that place again. And that's exactly what happened in my career. I talked about the injury and I was never back.
If that's true of physical injury, do you think it's true of sort of emotional or mental health conditions as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not just physical. That physical injury affects mentally. Because talking about my experience, when I had that injury and I played with these injuries for months until I broke down completely, and I did not have that psychological safe environment to talk about my physical injuries, which affected me mentally. I could not talk about it. I used to have like paracetamols and Nurophens every day to go for training. I could not skip the training. And imagine someone having medication every day, caffeine every day, especially a sports person. That affects your endurance, that affects your fitness, right? And I could not talk about all these things because I was scared. The amount of mental pressure I felt from, if I'm going to get dropped, can I speak to my coaches? I could not speak to my coaches about it. I could not speak to anyone about it, even my family, because if I'm going to talk to my mom and say, Mom, I've got a broken finger, she wouldn't allow me to play because she is concerned about my health more than anything else. If I'm going to talk to my dad, he's going to do the same thing. So I couldn't talk to my family, and I kept these things hidden from everyone. I kept playing, and that affected my career.
And must have been an emotional burden to carry as well.
It was. I mean, the feeling of not being able to talk to anyone, even your friends, is quite traumatizing because the culture I was in around that time was very, very competitive because the education system in Bangladesh is a grading system. It's like who can be first class first, who can be first class second, third, fourth. So the amount of competition you have, people don't really care about what's going on, like someone who is number that fight, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care about them. All they care about is like, I need to get to that number one position, right? People become less compassionate. So that because of that competition, you do have friends, but actually you do not have any friends because you cannot talk about these struggles with your friends. You cannot just go to your friend, a cricket friend playing cricket together and say, tell you what, I've got a broken finger and I'm sad and I'm scared about it. Because you feel that, right, they will take the opportunity to sideline you.
That must be quite lonely.
It's a very lonely space there. All this fame, you've got like hundreds of thousands of people around you. You've got journalists taking photographs. You get people very interested about your life. What am I eating? What am I having as a breakfast? What am I having as a lunch? Where am I going? What clothes we are wearing? What sunglasses we are buying, etc. Who's the girl he's going out with, or who's the boy he's going out with? All this fame, people are very interested about you, but when it comes to struggle, people don't really care about those struggles. They don't want to know about a professional athlete's struggle or mental health or physical health. All they see then is that model up there
on a pedestal
and see what's going on out there. As soon as they are down, they're not interested. They move to another person.
You mentioned that being a culture when you was in Bangladesh, but do you think that's a culture in sport, or have you noticed that's still a culture in the UK?
Yes. It's a culture worldwide in professional sports, because I can guarantee 90% of the people will not be able to answer who was the 100-meter sprint runner who came second in 2001. Can anyone? Right? That's the life of a professional athlete. Do we know what that person is doing now? Do we know how their life looks like? The only people know about them is family, probably their partners, probably their close friends, or people don't care about who they are as how much they're earning. All they care about is that person. Are they okay?
Yeah.
So that's the life of a professional athlete, a sports person.
It's so true. Nobody remembers number 2, do they?
No, but that is an achievement.
Oh, for sure. Yourself. Yeah.
I mean, imagine coming second on a 100-meter sprint in an Olympic is a wow factor.
For sure.
Second fastest man or woman on earth in Olympic, and no one knows about them. No one remembers them. So that's the life of a professional athlete.
That's such a lot of pressure for an individual, and it's no wonder that we're starting to see and starting to hear more and more of the impact that's had.
Yes.
Do you think we're talking about it enough?
No, we don't talk about it enough. We only talk about the fame. We only talk about the glossy life, the sparkly life of an athlete or a professional on social media or medias. We don't talk about what's going on in the background, their struggle, their mental health, well-being, and what happens after. No one cares.
Well, we can, and we're able to share that now with so many other people, because you've been kind enough to share your story with us. What do you hope would change?
I hope to change. I hope we need to change as a society, as a world, and look at an individual as a human being. Because yes, they're famous because of their abilities. Everyone's have got their different abilities. Everyone's differently able, and that's their superpower for an athlete, right? But that's a human being. So if we look at an individual as a human being and recognize that they struggle, they've got red blood within them, they've got brain, they've got everything else that the other person have. They've got emotions, they've got pain, and then it gets easier. We will treat athletes as human before they're athletes.
If you could go back to that 18-year-old version of you, what would you say to him?
I would not leave my hand. I would stay with me the whole time
Mm-hmm.
and say, it's okay
Mm-hmm.
to fail. It's okay to break your hand or arm or your knee or your ankle or your back.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Or your shoulder. It's okay. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
We can figure it out and we can help you back to your old shape. It's okay. Everyone struggles.
Mm.
That's the first thing I'm going to do. Say, it's okay, you can talk.
Mm.
You can say it. Because I didn't say it until a long, long, long time.
Mm.
Probably I've hidden my pains and my feelings for way longer than I should have. This is the first time I am talking about it.
Yes, it's powerful stuff. With your role now, because you have a great job now and you've been able to get back into the world of cricket, what lessons are you taking that you learnt as a younger man that you're embedding now?
Be more understanding, be more compassionate,
Mm-hmm.
be more human. I'm also a cricket coach now.
Mm-hmm.
I coach young players, young athletes. And the first thing I make sure is their mental well-being. If I see someone not themselves for a day, I spend the time to ask them how they are.
Mm.
If there is anything I can do to help, if they want to talk about anything, if they're struggling. The first thing when I start a session now, the first thing I ask, is there any injury
Mm-hmm.
I should know about? Is there any struggle in your body I should know about? Is there anything that might affect your training session today,
Mm-hmm.
mentally or physically? Come and talk to me first. So that's what I'm doing differently now. I'm trying to understand the human first and then become anyone else, anything else.
How is that working, would you say, with the individuals you're supporting?
The way I saw my coach, I feel my players see me completely different because they see me as a friend.
Yeah.
First of all, they see me as someone they can come and talk to, say anything, even joke, even jump on my shoulders,
Yeah.
and have fun. Right? I try to make things fun for them because without enjoying something, they cannot achieve it because that pressure is not going to make them happy. Because the happier a person is, the better outcome we can get out of them, right?
Sure.
So I feel that I was scared to talk to my coach. My players are not.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing I can think of. They're not scared to talk to me. They're free to come to me and talk.
I think that's brilliant, and I think that's got ramifications far beyond the world of cricket and beyond the world of sport. I think people having positive male role models and being encouraged to talk about themselves can only help in every aspect of life.
Absolutely, I agree. The psychology behind all of this is quite. I mean, we don't quite think about all these things. We don't quite think about all this. So we need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
We need to talk to parents. Even now, I see some parents are like really expecting a lot from a child. I would say to those parents, like, take it easy. They will become something.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about how much they earn in the future, you're probably not going to be there to see because they are going to live their own life.
Yeah.
The house we are buying today, 100 year after 100 year, we're probably not going to be in that house. Probably my great grandson or daughter is not going to remember my name.
Yeah.
But the legacy you leave behind is like leaving a good human, and then carry on creating those good human, because the things that you pass is is affecting a child, and that's how they're growing up, and that's what's going to shape them, and that's how they're going to treat to their children, and that's how the change starts.
Yeah. There's so many life lessons here that you've shared in just such a short period of time. Is there anything else you want to tell me, or while you've got the microphone, share with the audience?
Yes, I would like to repeat about to understand that lonely place for a professional athlete, a professional player. It's a very lonely place, although you see all this sparkles around them. But deep inside, when they go to bed and darken their rooms, they think about their struggle. So give them space to talk, to share, and allow them that psychological safe environment. Whether you're a coach, whether you are a parent, whether you are a friend, because friends play a big part in their in professional athlete's life. Even you're no one related to them, just a fan. Be compassionate. Stop talking about all these negative things on social media about these professional athletes, because end of the day they're human. They are human, just like you and me and everyone else. So treat them as human. People make mistakes, people make misjudgments, but end of the day they are human, and everyone needs a second chance. I would say everyone needs not just a second chance, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth chance. Because if we don't let people learn from their mistake and correct them, then are we going? The jail we have in the world is not enough.
Yeah.
So we need to be more compassionate to each other. Also, you probably remember me saying I'm currently writing a good book on cricket psychology. So I will explain, I will share all these things in my book. I'll delve deep into it and tell my story, so people do realize and understand more.
What inspired you to write the book?
My challenges, my struggles, and when I see the professional cricketers in Bangladesh, I've been following Bangladesh. I didn't follow Bangladesh cricket for a long time, but I started following it for the last couple of years, and I can still see me playing in the TV. See a version of me playing in the TV.
Yeah. So
when I watch cricket, like especially Bangladesh cricket, I try to notice what they're saying with their eyes. And I can see that in their eyes. No one's listening.
Yeah.
No one's asking questions. No one is saying it's okay to struggle. No one's helping them with the psychological part of thing. So that's what I want to share is what can we change? How can we change? What should we do? What shouldn't we do? Through my story.
And who do you hope reads that book?
Everyone. Everyone. I hope to write something which is not just going to be a sports focused.
Yeah.
I'm trying to write something with a life lesson. So I hope that those who are interested to kind of, know more about life, and it's not just that. It's not just professional athlete. If we think about like actors and actresses,
yeah,
similar sort of life, fame, right? If we think about like really, really, renowned doctorate or academic, right? With those fame, scientists, for example, with a fame, similar sort of life. It's not similar to the athlete, or it's not similar to the actor or actresses, but that fame place is almost similar.
Yeah.
So we can probably learn some transferable skills.
I think there's lots of transferable skills that have come out from the stories that you've shared with me, and that I see in your day-to-day practice as a professional now. So it's been great to see that journey. Thank you so much for talking to me today and for sharing that with us. I've got my last question, so unless there's anything you want to share with me, I shall ask you my last question.
Please do. I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much to you and Health Watch Essex for this opportunity and the incredible work you're doing to let people invite people to talk about their lived experience is priceless. Thank you for creating this kind of platform, and I'm sure there's so many out there who appreciate it, including me. I'm a big fan.
Oh, that's
Thank
lovely. Thank you. So, my last question, and it's a tricky one. What would be the title of your life story?
Very tough.
Yes.
Very tough.
Take your
question.
time.
Okay. Never thought about it. It's very difficult. I haven't finalized the title, but it's going to be Psychology in Cricket and a story to open eyes.
Oh, I think Opening Eyes is a great title.
But
or Life Through Your Eyes, you know.
Life through. Oh yes, Life through Zisan's eyes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you very much.